Russell, don't you have a new book out?
Yeah, that's why I came, but you want to talk about other shit. You told me that.
Oh, we're going to talk about other shit.
No, but you know what we're going to do because we love you and respect you so much? Before we get to the epic conversation about other shit, a.k.a. hip-hop, tell a little bit about the book right now so people know off top.
The purpose of the book is to demystify, simplify, and make easy for everyone to practice meditation. Because for thousands of years, prophets have talked about it. Every religion has, passages in their scripture, be still and know, etc. The idea of letting the mind settle. All of us want to be in the zone. If we're ball players, all of us want to be able to hear the music clearly if we're making a song and producers. All of us want to be awake, see every flower when we drive our car instead of drive somewhere and don't know how the fuck we got there. We all want that. Mm-hmm. And meditation is the greatest tool for that and the greatest tool for happiness in general. If you let your mind settle and the noise disappears, you'll be a happy person.
This helps eliminate clutter. The clutter of the brain.
Clutter of the mind is the cause of all suffering.
Really think that?
All suffering.
I believe
Needing something or neediness is the cause of suffering. And the mind fluctuating is the cause of sickness, sadness, and suffering. The mind still is the cause of bliss.
Well, Russell, I know, I don't know you, but I know you. And your mind is, you've gotten yourself free from so much clutter. Yet I know your mind is still cluttered with chasing pussy. I know you. There's no chance.
Lord Buddha's last issue before enlightenment. The temptress, you remember?
That was the hardest thing for even Buddha?
That was the hardest thing for everybody. I mean, I don't know why people act like sexual thoughts. Men think of sex
why is it
all
bad?
the fucking time. Right.
It's not bad, right?
But it can be cluttering. Can be cluttering.
But you can also do it, but you're only saying that because you do it with a cluttered mind. He does it with a clear mind.
I know, but here's the problem. Don't you think, sometimes you're married and you're trying to get your brain focused on one thing and the clutter in your brain is all these other vaginas?
True. I feel you. I'm not married.
Did you have you ever been in a relationship that allowed you and your partner to have sex with other people? Have you ever had a relationship like that?
Since I've been not married?
Sure, or married.
Almost every relationship I've had has had me to have sex with other people.
What about the other person?
The other person, I never restricted anybody.
But you don't ask.
But but if I had relationship that was hardcore, they have not been. We hadn't had that freedom. That's probably why they didn't last so long.
Would you want that freedom?
I would like to. I'd like to want that for me. You know what I mean?
You think your Western raised mind conflicts with your Eastern philosophies?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Like, do you think the fact that you were raised in America where we look at marriage as one thing would prevent you from being able to maybe be in a marriage one day that has more of an Eastern philosophy of
Buddhism or whatever it is?
Go out and do your own thing, and you're together.
No, but Buddhists don't. I don't. Well,
Buddhists are fucking everyone. Trust me. I learned it. I read it in a book somewhere. But the point is, do you think you could handle that? Do you think you could handle that though?
Could you handle?
Because here's the thing.
Could I handle a wife that went out and fucked everybody?
Not fucked everybody. We didn't say fuck everybody. Had the option to.
I think, I could handle it. I think I could handle it. I'm not.
Now you could.
Right now I can handle it. Yeah.
But you're not.
First, you go out and fuck girls. Honestly.
Of course, that would be ideal, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you couldn't handle it. There's no way.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to expand, Cipha.
The hip hop ego won't let you. You have to broaden.
Do you know how many men could have everything they wanted if they could just let go of the jealousy of their own woman? You could have everything. Your wife might be like, you know what? Go on the road. Fuck who you want. Tiger, right? Elon maybe would have been like, oh, do whatever you want. Just know that I'm allowed to do what I want. But Tiger would be like, nah, fuck that.
Is that her name Elon?
Elon, yes.
I've met her like 10 times.
Oh, Tiger Woods. I think you're talking about Tiger, the rapper.
Yeah, at first I did
Make it
too.
nasty.
It took me a minute.
Make it nasty.
I would have said
like,
Tiger.
why would he bring him in?
It's the 30-year anniversary of Def Jam.
Woo.
And you are the man behind Def Jam, the most important label of all time in the history of this culture. Is there a close second? Is there a close second to Def Jam?
Loud.
It could have been Loud.
Loud Records.
Loud was on its way, I think.
I love that because Steve Rifkin is running all deaf music right now.
Good decision, because
Loud
Steve Rifkin is in charge.
As far as what we love and what we're talking about for the culture, there's always Death Row. And
wasn't close though.
Bad Boy.
It wasn't close.
Not
Body of
like-
work, it wasn't close. Because when you think about it,
It was based on.
we couldn't name all the Def Jam albums we love. We couldn't. But I could name those other things I can name all the good Death Row albums quickly.
And on Bad Boy, you can.
Bad Boy? Quick. What, you're going to get into a 112's third album? No disrespect to Puff.
112 third album is hot.
Is it really good? All right. Is that the one with Hot and Wet?
No.
Okay. But the point is, Def Jam, it's an endless
True.
supply of product. So, Russell, I know this is going to be difficult, but can we go back to the beginning?
I have to do it all the time. Every time I go to talk about meditation, I got to talk about this shit.
What was the first hip hop record you heard? Was it a tape of a party? Like, what was the first hip hop thing you heard?
It wasn't a record, you mean recording, like a cassette.
A recording of some variety of hip hop.
No, I saw my first time I seen rap was in Charles Gallery with Eddie Cipha.
What year are we talking
Niggas
about?
don't know the history very well. You know, like Eddie Cipha in Hollywood, Lovebug Starsky, some of these guys, especially Hollywood and Cipha, for instance. They played in Club 371. They were indoors.
Which was where?
It was always in South Bronx.
Always in South.
But the idea that they was indoors, and they was a little tiny bit older. A lot of rappers refer to them as disco rappers. I don't know the fuck they mean, disco rappers. They were rappers way before rap records. And they were the same artists who I hired as a promoter who was trying to get money. I would hire a DJ Hollywood, because Hollywood was the best. He was the rapper that when he put the mic down and shit is smoke and no one would fuck with it for a long time. They just look at the mic. So Hollywood.
But you're saying this is pre
everything.
Pre like park jams and stuff like that?
No. He was just old enough where 18-year-olds could get in, to go to the club. People were older, 18.
Gotcha.
You go in the club and drink, right? Hollywood was older, but he was also bigger. And this is the thing I have to keep emphasizing: bigger than his would-be competitors. So when we hear, and I'm not knocking all of the street rappers, all of the street
DJs.
DJs. It's good, but Hollywood, as a promoter, was the guy you wanted, because he would sell out 3 floors at a Hotel Diplomat at one time, and it'd be $650 a ticket. And he'd go to Jones Beach, and 5,000 people would come and watch him.
No.
He wouldn't play in the park for free, and 300 people would watch him.
It was $6.50 a ticket?
Yes.
$6.50?
Yes.
And why that price? That's a random price point to
That's
me.
how much Rush Productions charged to have DJ Hollywood at the Hotel Diplomat.
And you
Hotel Diplomat.
It was on 42nd Street, 43rd Street.
And what kind of clientele came out to that party you did?
Mostly my party was a little younger, because I would fuck with Flash and other people like that as well. And Flash was huge too, right? But I would fuck with them. I'd bring niggas out the street who had not played in the kind of places where there was a bar, who was real hot, like the Grandmaster Flash. I brought him downtown. I brought him to Queens. I brought him to Long Island. I gave him, he'd
Okay,
never been
You
those
were a
places.
promoter?
Yeah.
How did you get into
Yeah, how'd
that?
you get into promoting? Stay close, Russ.
I was in Charles Gallery and I saw Eddie Cipha, and my man Rudy was a promoter, and I was in there, and that was what I wanted to do. Like I didn't like that. I was selling fake cocaine, and I used to trade it for dust. I sold angel dust and weed and shit like that. Right?
Were you doing dust too?
I smoked a lot of water. Yeah, I was a water.
Oh, that it's water?
That's why you say it's wet.
Get wet.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We used to
Training day.
I used to take a dip in the pool quite often.
You were taking swimming pools, drank.
Right. So
Okay.
anyway, but I'm saying I was doing that, right? And I want to do something more fun, and and music was it.
You didn't have a job.
No.
Did you ever have a job?
I had a job for a month in Orange Julius. That's when I discovered coca leaf incense.
You didn't work at Orange Julius?
No, but I worked. Let me tell you next door was the head shop. And in the head shop, under the counter, was the coca leaf incense. Like, they didn't have it above the counter. And coca leaf incense,
You could smoke that?
you could smoke it, too, in your cigarette, like you smoke coke, right? Or you could shoot it, which I discovered later. And you could shoot it with your heroin. That way you have a speedball. And it had caffeine in it. And you put it in your tongue and make your whole face freeze off. Your whole face. I mean, it's really strong.
Yeah, that's the shit they...
Right, so
The
coca
people
leaf
that do the cocaine in the jungles, they eat that to stay awake.
all cocaine does that, though. Freeze your mouth. Right, but the point I'm making is that back then, that we didn't know coke that well. So coca leaf incense was the beat shit to fuck with. Like, that was the shit.
And you worked at Orange Julius and you would just pop in next door.
Once I discovered that, I quit my job. Because now I got a real hustle. Now I got ounces of cocaine for $4.50 a bottle, and 3.5 grams is in the bottle, and you had to cut it. That's 9 grams by the time I finished fucking with it. And
So you were hustling bullshit
that became
cocaine.
yeah. But I mean, I was
Right.
very legitimate though, because niggas ain't know what I was doing. You know what I mean?
And they
I
were
was-
getting high. They felt good.
Yeah, and they were shooting it with their dope.
Well,
back then
how old
everybody
were
was
you?
shooting coke and dope. I don't know.
16, 17?
No, I was older then. I was
Oh.
older by then. I was getting ready to go to college, first year of college.
So you were like 18.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And you went to college?
Yeah, I went to City College, 3 years.
So you went to City
4
Co-
years, but I didn't come out.
And you're
I got
promoting.
114 credits.
Are you serious? You still do?
Christmas rapping got hot. I had to go.
Christmas rapping got hot. Well, I understand.
79 Christmas rap.
How long did the party thing last for you? And you were respected? You started killing as a promoter? Like
Yeah,
people
Rush to force in college parties. We used to call them college parties, but a lot of kids who was not quite in college came.
And how hood were these parties? Like were
It
they
was very hood. Like the first time I went to the
Heights.
Hotel Diplomat with Grandmaster Flash, because at the time, again, Hollywood and Eddie Cipha were the big niggas to play downtown. And Flash was like Flash was young with Grand Wizard Theodore and Kool Herc type, that whole kind of park vibe, and ballrooms, not ballrooms so much as like community centers and stuff like that. $1 they sell at the Renaissance every single day, and Love Bug Starsky would play. They were like that kind of level in terms of price, and also their audience was younger. But I bought Grandmaster Flash a Hotel Diplomat, and that was actually funny because the first time I bought Flash a Diplomat, Curtis Blow, who was kind of the 6th MC fucking with Flash. Whenever I booked Flash, a lot of times he would just want to bring Curtis instead of 5 MCs, instead of Melly Mel and all them niggas. And Curtis Blow came, and Eddie Chiba performed. It was Eddie Chiba, Grandmaster Flash, Love Bug Starsky, I think, and Cipha Sound from Queens.
What was his name?
Cipha Sound. It was they had the machinery.
And it was called Cipha Sound? That was
the legendary Cipha Sound. You don't know who the fuck they are?
I know they are.
He does.
I know who they are because they stepped to me in the tunnel and I had to fucking back them off me.
No, you did. They stepped to you?
Them niggas off. I'm just kidding.
I did. No, because one of them is RZA's cousin.
Right. Cipha
really?
Sound. Them niggas
And I had
is
to
big.
call
RZA or Riz?
RZA.
His cousin came.
Wu-Tang, yes.
You should always respect them when you talk.
No, I do. No, I do.
Cipha
I always
Sound,
did.
them niggas-
I made up that name, and then I found records that had Cipha Sounds on. I was like, "What the
They
fuck
even
is
made
this?"
records later, right?
I had
Them niggas
records,
was very real. They was very real. They had a good.
And then years later, the guy apologized to me.
That's nice. He respects it now.
Yeah, they good dudes. They were very good.
He thought I
Infinity
stole the
Machine
name.
and Cipha Sound was the two niggas.
And so they were like a sound crew.
They was a sound crew from Queens.
Okay.
Even Hollywood always fuck with Infinity Machine if he could. Very powerful shit. So in terms of they had the big speakers and all that, right? So Eddie Chiba performed. He was great. And then Flash went on. And I had Robert Ford there, who was set to produce a
Rob
record.
Ford.
Right. No, Bob Ford.
Okay,
Rob Ford.
And that's Tom Ford.
Robert Ford, who was a writer for Billboard, had written the only real story about hip-hop. He wrote a story about DJ Hollywood and how great he was in Billboard magazine, which was a big deal.
Wow.
Niggas trying to be in the record business. So anyway, Curtis Blow came out, and he did that classic intro. And he then got the record deal that, Robert was in there trying to, let's make a record. We agree, we're going to make a record. Eddie Chiba is the choice. He's that big nigga. He's the one we're going to make a record with. But Curtis Blow came out. And again, it was supposed to be, Flash is very young. But Curtis Blow came out and he said, people in the place, the bass in your face, you about to see first place in the rap race. Sounds you hear so good to ear, have no fear, Curtis Blow is here. And introducing the disco dream on the mean machine, the Darth Vader on the slide beta. No one touched straighter greater than New York's #1 cut creator. Grandmaster Flash is his name. You know what I mean? He got into that whole shit and then Mardi Gras dropped, bang. And Run used to call it ring, brother, ring. Mardi Gras, Bob James, right? Yeah. And he's yes, y'all, to the beach, y'all. And he went into his shit, I'm Curtis Blow on the microphone, and he did all that. He stole that record. We made that record, Christmas Rapping, because we saw Curtis perform. I already knew Curtis was my man. He fucked with me regularly. I called him Queens #1. He's from Harlem. So I called him Queens #1 because niggas in Queens wasn't that hot. So it was easy to bring him back to the Bronx and say, look, it's Queens #1, nigga.
So you just lied.
Well, he was Queens hot.
They loved him in Queens.
They liked him. And we called him Curtis Blow because he kept selling coca leaf incense, even though the niggas was kind of finding out what it was.
And he kept going with it.
Called him Curtis Blow. That's the nigga you fucking around and you get murdered because we would sell half a quarters to like drug dealers.
Did you already assume that the name Curtis Blow had to do with blow?
Yeah.
Because it was better, and also better than Chiba. Eddie Chiba, right?
Damn,
Blow
you guys are a
was
bunch
better.
of fucking drug addicts. That's what's happening. That's what hip hop was. A bunch of fucking drug
No,
addicts.
that was just a normal part of the culture. But Curtis Blow got that record Christmas Rapping.
Let's be clear about it for a second.
Let's be clear.
All due respect. I'm lucky my brother put me onto hip hop, right? Run is a lucky motherfucker. Because he had an older brother
But that
who
nigga
put
said, once again, my friend, not a trend, but then they said
Well,
rap
then he
was
went
crap
ham.
and perhaps it's been. And then the ruler came. He came with some shit.
Oh,
though.
he came with don't get me wrong. He held his own just fine. But you
Right.
still got him. It was pretty cool that you dragged him into this game.
Him and DMC used to sit up and watch our records with Curtis Blow. We made records like Star Life, and they'd be put their head down like niggas. Because we didn't make the records. I would help and oversee and support, but really it was Robert and JB. And they were two Billboard guys, and they liked the idea of Christmas rap, and it was like good times and all that. It was kind of commercial. And when I finally got to make records, I made records less commercial and more B-boy, obviously, right? And then to the point I made Suck MC, like, what the fuck you doing? Like, where's the music? I said, well, we need music. Or we want to rap over Mardi Gras. That's what I want to do in the first place. Rap over Bob James, Mardi
How
Gras.
did y'all know Mardi Gras? Was Mardi Gras a big
We had
song?
jazz. No, fuck no. The hip hop niggas had, you know what they had? We had Toys in the Attic. We didn't have Walk This Way.
So that was just one
we
that
scraped the name off the record so long ago. We didn't know what the fuck name was.
But
All
like,
we knew
here's my
was Toys
question
in the
is-
Attic was the name of the album, and you know we had. That's all we heard. We never. Every so often DJ fuck would be like, but we never really heard Walk This Way. We didn't give a fuck. Rick Rubin made us do that. That's why I gotta give Rick that.